She threw a tiny dog into a lion's cage. What happened next will make you cry. They said she was insane, that what she was about to do would end in tragedy. But Emily Carter had no choice. She threw the tiny chihuahua into the lion's cage anyway. Emily had worked at Riverside Wildlife Sanctuary for 17 years. Oklahoma had shaped her into someone who understood silence better than words. At 45, with calloused hands and sun-worn skin, she preferred the company of predators to people. She had no husband, no children. The animals were everything. Every morning before sunrise, she walked the enclosures alone, coffee in a chipped mug, notepad in hand. She talked to the lions like they were old friends, and maybe they were. But on this particular morning, something was wrong. In this lioness enclosures, Emily saw it immediately. A newborn cub, abandoned. The mother, Sahara, paced at the far end, deliberately ignoring the tiny creature's desperate cries. Emily didn't hesitate. She slipped inside and scooped up the cub. The moment she felt him, her heart sank. His bones felt like hollow glass. His golden fur was dull, lifeless. When he looked up at her with clouded blue eyes, she saw something worse than pain. She saw loneliness. At the clinic, the vet confirmed her fears. Severe bone disease. He'll never be strong. The mother knew, that's why she rejected him. But he can survive? Emily asked. The vet hesitated. Technically, yes, but he'll need constant care. And honestly, Emily, he might survive physically, but emotionally? He shook his head. I've seen animals give up. Emily held the cub closer. Then I won't let him. She named him Milo. For weeks, Emily barely slept. She bottle-fed him every 3 hours, even at 2 a.m. Her back screamed in protest, her eyes burned from exhaustion. But none of that mattered, because Milo wasn't getting better. Not really. He ate because he had to. He breathed because his body forced him to. But he didn't live. He just existed. He stayed curled in the corner of his pen, staring at nothing. No playfulness, no curiosity, just emptiness. Emily knew what was missing. Every living creature needed connection, needed someone who stayed. But who? During a staff meeting, Emily said it out loud. He needs a companion. Rachel, the youngest keeper, frowned. We can't put another lion with him. He's too weak. He'd be killed. Margaret, the senior keeper, nodded. And all our other lions are either too young or already have cubs. Silence fell over the room. Then Emily said the words that would change everything. What about Bella? Everyone froze. Bella was a caramel-colored chihuahua, barely 5 pounds, who had wandered into the sanctuary years ago and never left. She had a strange gift. She calmed anxious animals just by sitting near them. Rachel's eyes went wide. Emily, you can't be serious. He's a lion. Even weak, even young. His instincts will kick in. He'll kill her. Margaret leaned forward. It's too dangerous, for both of them. But Emily felt it in her swings, that unshakable certainty that defies logic. Bella isn't ordinary. You've all seen it. And Milo will die if we don't do something, not physically, but inside, where it counts. After hours of debate, they finally agreed, or maybe they just trusted Emily's instincts. The next morning, Emily barely slept. Her mind ran wild with terrible possibilities. What if she was wrong? What if Bella died because of her? But when she looked at Milo that morning, still curled in his corner, still empty, she knew she had to try. She found Bella sunbathing near the office. The little dog's tail wagged when she saw Emily. Hey, sweet girl, Emily whispered, lifting her arm. I need you to be brave today. Bella's heartbeat was steady, calm, trusting. Emily carried her toward Milo's enclosure. Rachel and Margaret waited by the gate, their faces tense. Last chance to back out, Margaret said softly. Emily shook her head. She opened the gate. Her hands trembled. And then, with a gentle motion, she set Bella inside and closed the door. Bella landed gracefully in the center of the pen. From his corner, Milo's head lifted. His eyes locked onto the tiny brown figure. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Bella shook herself off and looked around. No fear, just curiosity. Then Milo stood, slowly, hesitantly. He took 2 steps forward, stopped. 2 more steps. Bella waited, watching him with those dark, intelligent eyes. When Milo was halfway across, Bella made her move. She walked straight toward him, tail wagging. They met in the middle. Bella, barely reaching the cub's chest, leaned in and sniffed him. Milo froze, completely still. Emily held her breath. This was it. This single second would decide everything. Then Milo lowered his massive head and sniffed Bella back. And then he played. A tiny, clumsy pounce. His front paws hit the ground in the universal invitation to play. Bella barked, a sharp, joyful sound, and dashed in a circle around him. Milo chased her, clumsy but determined, and a strange sound came from his throat. "Is he laughing?" Rachel whispered. Emily couldn't answer. She was crying too hard. From that day forward, Bella never left Milo's side. They ate together, played together, slept curled against each other. Milo always let Bella eat first. Bella would lick his face clean after meals. They had their own language, their own rituals. But the real transformation was in Milo's eyes. They shined now, full of life, full of joy. His bones were still fragile, but his spirit, unbreakable. Months became years. Milo grew into a 300-pound lion, but he treated Bella like porcelain. When strangers approached, he'd position himself protectively in front of her. But with Emily, he'd gently pick Bella up by the scruff and bring her close, as if saying, "Look at my treasure." Two other chihuahuas, Scout and Duchess, eventually joined them. But Milo and Bella's bond remained sacred. During storms, Milo would tremble with fear, and Bella would press against him until he calmed. When Milo got sick and refused to eat, Bella stayed by his side for days, nudging him, encouraging him. 5 years after their first meeting, Emily knew something was wrong. Bella lay in her favorite sunny spot, but she didn't get up when Emily approached. Milo was beside him, his head resting gently on her small body. Emily opened the gate and knelt beside them. Milo looked at her, and in his eyes she saw the question. "I know," Emily whispered. "I know, buddy." Bella's tail gave one weak wag when Emily touched her. "You were so brave," Emily said through tears. "You saved him. You changed everything." Milo positioned himself so Bella was between them, surrounded by love. He began to purr, deep and comforting. And there, wrapped in warmth, the little chihuahua who defied every law of nature simply fell asleep. Milo grieved like Emily had never seen. He refused food. He stayed where Bella had died. Emily sat with him for days, just being there. Slowly, he began to live again. Scout and Duchess helped fill the emptiness. But part of Milo would always belong to Bella. Emily retired 2 years later, but visited Milo every week. She'd created a small memorial for Bella near the office. And every visit, she'd sit with Milo and remember. Milo lived to 9 years old, far beyond any prediction. When he passed, it was peaceful, in the exact spot where Bella had rested. Emily buried them together under an old oak tree. Two impossible friends, one unbreakable bond. Milo and Bella proved that love doesn't see size, species, or logic. It only sees hearts willing to connect. And sometimes that's all that matters. If this story touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button and share this video with someone who needs to believe in the impossible today. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because every week we bring you more true stories that prove love has no boundaries. And tell us in the comments, have you ever witnessed an unlikely friendship that changed everything? We'd love to hear your story. Remember, sometimes the smallest acts of courage create the biggest miracles. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.